one of the biggest challenges traders have when they're following traders who are sharing their trades in a live community like we do in the Sector Secrets Mastery is the 3 C's. How do you get the most out of your trading time with an experienced trader? Number 1 is confirmation. That's the first C, or comprehension. Comprehension is the first C. Do I understand the trade idea? All right, so how do we go about making sure we understand the trade idea? Well, some of that's going to fall on, for example, me in the Sector Secrets Mastery. There's 2 things that have to be done, right? One is when we share a trade idea, that's exactly what it is. It's a setup. And if you want to get the most out of learning from an experienced trader, first thing is, do you understand the setups? All right, the second thing is, again, of this comprehension to confirmation. Do I understand it? Comprehension. And then do I have enough understanding to act on it, right? And to act on it, this is timing, and this is really important. Most trading rooms are going to share a fill. In other words, the trader gets in and says, hey, I just bought, for example, RTX, the 125 call. That's not how I think about trading. And frankly, that's not how you should think about trading either. If we just get in, right, a setup we don't see coming is not a trade, it's a gamble. And we don't want to gamble. So we have to see the trade coming. And that means we have up to, for me, 3 levels that I will scale into. Now, scaling in differs from adding, aside from the point that you never really want to add, you want to focus on scaling in. But what's the difference? Scaling in means you know all the levels that you will buy, whatever it is, the shares, the contracts, the options, whatever, beforehand. Meaning at the time of the initial entry, all the entry triggers are discussed. And in this case, shared in an alert. What else is necessary? And I mean before the trade triggers, and I'll get into that in a moment. You also have to know the target. You can't wait on someone else to tell you when to scale out. You want to have the complete plan, and you have to know the risk and how long that trade might be valid. So this is the format. And if you're learning how to follow another trader, this is the level of information you must have in order to really become proficient at trading and not a blind trade along. Okay. The next thing is, and it kind of goes back to this optimize for slowness point that we talk about, that we really live in the Sector Secrets Mastery. In a world of frenetic action, get in and get out now, market orders, hotkeys, speed, slow things down, right? Optimize for slowness. And in the case of RTX, I'll give you the timing on this. So the trade idea, and what I'm going to do for this is share why we're getting in, and then the actual timing of the alert. And then you think about the reality of getting this fill in an accurate and in an effective way. The reason we're buying RTX is we have an uptrend, we have green candles, and those green candles sunk into this gray support zone known as the daily price movement range. If you recall from the trade alert, the first trigger was 128.30. So let's talk about that. And let's talk about this and really dissect it to a 1-minute chart. So the trade idea as an alert went out at 10:54. So at 10:54, at that point, I like this trade idea. I can manage risk from this. It's valid. So it's time to share that trade idea. And that way, any trader who wants to take it, great. They can see the entire trading plan and make a decision for themselves as to how they want to treat this trade. 10:54, we were in this area, but it quickly moved away. We don't chase, right? We trust that that level is valid for the entire session. And then you can see here, it came back down to this area, and the idea was to buy at 128.30. So not until it hits 128.30 am I going to buy the call. So let's say you missed it, right? This is actually an hour later. Right? 10:54 goes out. Here's 11:50. Then here is 12:30. So at this point, we're talking over an hour and 30 minutes later. And then one more time. So really, you're talking about 3-4 different times here at 2 p.m. This trade went out just before 11 o'clock. So imagine what your trading day is like. Do you always have access to the markets immediately, or would it be nice to have the level known beforehand, and you might then be able to catch any one of these levels because you can do a lot of the things that I teach in the mastery, like place an alert on your platform to tell you, hey, we're really close to that 128.30 level that you wanted to buy those 125 calls from. Happened again at 2 o'clock. And then now it's moving up from that level. And if we understand the opportunity to wait for that dip, and now I'm going to show you another level of understanding for this trade. And now we're going to dive into the value of that 125 call at all those times that it sunk down to the range. So this is plotting the February 21st 125 call. And you can see it pretty much bounced off the area between about 125 and all the way down to about, 425, all the way down to about 415. Then it got down to about 412. So anywhere really between about 420 and about 412, you've got multiple opportunities to bid on this call while it's sunk down to the trigger. And this works for every single trigger. So comprehension is, do I understand what I'm supposed to do with the information shared in the alert? Right? Comprehension. Then the confirmation is, oh, I see this working. Right? It's giving me an opportunity. I'm not having to take this trade blindly. Currently, the trade is at the value of the options at $4.53. Right? If you go through the process of understanding, comprehension, and then proving it to work for you, confirmation, you keep cycling back and forth, and all of a sudden, you become a confident trader. And that's really what we're trying to build in the mastery. Yes, I like to buy dips. Yes, I like focusing on trends, but if we're not confident in the process, we're never going to get what we need out of our trade. So with that in mind, you might say, okay, Ragh, that sounds good, but how do I know what to do? Well, we're going to be talking about that tomorrow on Wednesday, February 5 at 8 p.m. And you can register for the webinar, and I'll show you plenty of examples, show you a lot of what we've been doing in the mastery, what kind of account growth we're experiencing, and what we're frankly dealing with now, and a type of strategy that I'm using more now and have to be open to now that I really haven't had to in the better part of probably 6 to 12 months. All right. So we'll talk about that as well. simplertrading.com/consistency. It all starts with understanding how to best be a trader, but in the world that I'm in and honored to be in, which is mentoring, coaching traders, how do you get the most from someone teaching you their style? And how does that information need to be shared? This topic isn't talked about enough. So hopefully this is something you can start to expect, right? And learn and use and grow your account. I'll see you in the webinar tomorrow. Hey traders, Raghee from Simpler Trading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment below. And remember, subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll get notified of the next update. And when you're ready to join me for live trading, be sure to head on over to simplertrading.com. I'll see you in the next update.